First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rokakwadash. Yahweh is who this world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is who this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Ba'Hashem means in the name, Rakah means spirit, and Kodash means holy. And that's on the Paleo Hebrew. I also want to give double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Today's video, I wanted to go into how cannibalism is coming back. Okay, and it seems to be that this is the spirit rolling around because I had this idea jotted down on my notes a couple days ago. And I was just waiting for, the spirit to hit me to make a video on it. And a brother today talks to me, asking me if I watched the video of GMA's Awakening, Amwan Gabar, over his testimony of how he had somebody on the job talking about how he will eat human meat in order to survive. And I'm like, damn, I was about to speak on that the other day ago, a couple of days ago. I should probably make a video on that today. And that's just a matter of the fact that in these days to come, these people are going to do whatever they can do to stay alive. Okay, they're going to do whatever they can do to stay alive. Whether that's killing their own brother, whether that's eating their own brother, whether that's taking the mark of the beast, they're going to do whatever they can do. Because in their eyes, they think that they are the ones in control. You see, that's the downfall of majority of us before we even knew what was going on, is that we think that we're in control. And when you have that mentality, all it brings is disappointment, right? Because we are not a perfect creation, right? We are bound to fail. We are bound to fall down. So when you always put all the blame on you, and think that you're the one in control, guess what? That brings stress. It brings anxiety. And emotions that are just not pleasant to feel. So all these Jakes thinking, hey, I'm the one in control. I gotta provide for my family. What am I gonna do if I don't take the chip? How are they gonna eat? That's the mentality they're gonna have. When the mentality is supposed to be, hey, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai is gonna take care of me. I don't know how he's gonna do it. I don't know in what way, but I know that I'm gonna be straight. I just can't take the chip, and I just gotta move through faith. It's a spirit that this brother right here is going live right now. He's talking about the pilgrim mindset, off the grid mentality. Right, we're gonna have to be in that mindset of pilgrims, right, constantly moving to and fro. And I remember when you used to search up pilgrim, it used to have a different definition. The definition used to be, nowadays it says a person who journeys to a sacred place or for religious reasons, right? And it used to say a person wandering, seeking miracles. Okay, and that's exactly what the elect are going to be in. They're going to be in that pilgrim mentality. It actually says that in 2nd Esdras. Let me actually pull that before I go into the video and hit my own scriptures. But 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse, it's actually 2nd Esdras 16. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 40 says, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Right, so we're going to have to be moving. Okay, and the elect are going to be moving on faith. Right, there's a saying, we live not by sight, but by faith. Okay, you can't be fazed about what's happening in your day-to-day life or what's happening right in front of you. You're supposed to have in the back of your head at all times, the Lord got me. So that's the off-the-grid mentality. That's the spirit. But I'm going to play this video real quick and get into it.
This shit, right? So you're going to say, oh, I'm not going to eat this, I'm not going to eat that. Trust me. You put human beings in certain situations, man, you'll be surprised. Your will to survive, you'll be surprised what the fuck you do, man. Trust me.
Who'll be surprised?
You.
I'm not surprised, bro.
The things that we do to survive, I would eat a human being like this.
So you eat a human?
If I would do it?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Put me in a position? Hell yeah. I ain't going hungry.
Yo.
What's wrong? The humans. Tell me.
What's wrong with eating a human?
Yeah.
Nigga, you tell me what's wrong with eating a human.
I'm not just gonna go kill somebody and eat him.
So no, you tell me what's wrong with eating a human.
I don't know.
You don't know what's wrong with eating a human?
Tell me. No, listen, for real. Listen.
Yo, Jay crazy boy.
We got stranded in the fucking island,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Couple of people, 10 of us, no fucking food.
yeah.
We start dying from hunger. You watch these people die.
I watch him die. Fuck it.
And you strong.
Yeah.
You gotta eat.
I'm gonna eat though. I'm not ain't gonna be human, but I'm
What
gonna
you
eat
gonna eat?
food.
You guys easy?
Yeah. Of course it's gonna be. Ain't nothing impossible, my guy.
Especially first, right? You're a silly boy. You got no survival skills. Put you in the fucking wilderness
Yeah.
with all this wildlife, you can't catch nothing.
Guarantee you I can.
What? You're a fucking city boy.
Now what that mean?
You're a city boy. Catch nothing. I bound from the city to the
All right,
fucking
so
island.
we gonna see. All right, we gonna see because I think we gonna be faced with
Can you
that.
swim?
Hell yeah, I can swim. I ain't worried about that, but I'm saying we gonna be faced with that situation, so we'll see
When?
soon. You know, I'll probably see you eating a human somewhere in the cut in the woods. I'll be walking by with some steak, with some steak,
Cut it, brother, so
egg and
long.
steak. Cut you what? You already ate human meat. It's too late, nigga. Ain't no going back.
You gotta watch that.
Yo, bro, you eat human meat, you ain't gonna be the same.
Right, you heard it right there. And the funniest thing that he said was, how are you going to survive out there, right? You're a city boy. You don't have no survival technique or nothing like that. How are you going to survive? The answer is the Lord. The answer is always the Lord. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and I'll start at verse 70, just giving you the context of what this is talking about, right? Because the context of this is something worse than not being able to eat. It's people that are hungry chasing after you. So 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 70, it says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear Yahweh. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods, and cast them out of their houses, and then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire." Right, and that's going into persecution. People coming after you just because you believe. And the funniest part about this scripture says that, hey, then shall they be known who are my chosen. Right, because, hey, right now you could pass by for, as the elect. Right, you got a lot of brothers that are not doing this thing in truth and sincerity. You got a lot of brothers and sisters that don't really believe. Right, they're just going through the motions. Right, they're keeping the commandments as tradition. You know, oh yeah, my cousin told me not to eat pork, so that's why I don't eat pork. Right, that's the only reason they do it. You know, they're half in, half out, lukewarm. You know, and right now you can't really tell if they're the elect or not. But in that day, we're gonna know who really are the chosen, right? Because the elect are not gonna fold. The elect are not gonna take the chip, right? When they're telling you you don't got no food, right? When your kids are screaming at you, your girl is screaming at you, telling you, "Baby, what we gonna do? We don't got food at the crib." You know, the only way for us to get food is if we go and take the chip. If we go to the supermarket and scan that chip, what are we going to do? In that day, we're going to see if you really believe or not. Because it's easy to say, nah, I ain't going to take the chip. You know, I'm going to be faithful, but it's easy to say right now when nothing's happening. But when the trial, you know, the fire is right in front of you, as it says, being tried as gold in the fire, when that fire is in front of you, we're going to see if you really believe. You know, a perfect example of that fire is the story of the three holy men. You know, I'll bring this out because this shows true faith. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. In Daniel chapter 3. This is the type of faith we're going to need. Daniel chapter 3. And verse 14. It says, So Nebuchadnezzar was the king of Babylon, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were pretty much prophets, holy men of Yahweh, and they were not worshiping the ways or following the ways of the Babylonians, following their false gods. And pretty much when you go in, one of the men of the king, they saw that. They saw that these men weren't following the way, and they pretty much snitched. So Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Nor if ye be ready that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made, well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that should deliver you out of my hands? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Right, so the holy prophets told Nebuchadnezzar, hey, if it be so, Yahweh, our power is going to deliver us from that furnace, from that fire that you're going to throw us in. So we don't got nothing to worry about. We're not going to worship your false gods. He told them straight up. And that's the spirit that we're going to need to have in these times to come. Right? Be able to tell these authorities, Esau, Edom, hey, we don't give a fuck what y'all are trying to do to us. So we're not going to take that chip. Throw us in whatever detention camps you want to throw us in. Because we're going to be faithful till death. That's the spirit you truly need. Being faithful till death. Verse 19. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it wont to be heated. Right, so 7 times as hot. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. When you keep reading, going into what happened, then Nebuchadnezzar, I'll keep reading, it's a little bit more. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast these 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said the king, True, O king. And he answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. Okay. Now I was going into the angel down there protecting him. Right? He said that he saw all 3 of them walking around perfectly fine. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of his burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth, and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors being gathered together, saw these men upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. So they weren't touched at all. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who hath sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any god except their own God. Therefore I make a decree, that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after this sort. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. And that's a powerful story, right? Even Nebuchadnezzar, he himself said, yup, ain't no other God that ain't Yahweh, okay, the God of the Israelites, can deliver after this sort, can do what just happened. So, hey, nobody can talk shit on that God, or else, hey, I'm going to judge you myself. And that is a true power. Okay, that is true power right there. And the Lord is about to deliver his men, his believers, a woman, little children, in the same manner, but even better. Okay, it says that everything that's happened back then, he's about to do something even better than that, even glorious than that, more glory. So, just imagine the situations we're going to be put in. Right? That's why it says we're going to be tried as the gold in the fire. The same way, when you go scroll up, just think about the position Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were in. Right? They were told, if you keep following those gods, if you don't follow my gods, we're going to throw you in that burning pit. Imagine being in that situation. And what did they say? Yahweh got me. Yahweh got me. So, that's powerful. But let's get into some scriptures on cannibalism. This is Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 19. It says, through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. Right? And the people being as the fuel of the fire is going into that nuclear destruction. Right? These people are going to be literally missile food. The video I made yesterday. It says, and no man shall spare his brother. Right? Because when you go into Matthew chapter 10 and we'll start at verse 34. Yahushua speaking, it says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and against the daughter, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. And that's the point, is that the Lord came to split families up. Okay? And if your brother, your sister is not with you right now believing, in that day believing, guess what? They're going to turn on you. They're going to be looking to sell you. Right? Because you best believe that the government is going to come out here giving ransom, giving rewards, putting up bounties on the believers. Okay? And if your brother finds out that, damn, I could turn my brother in for $100,000, I can turn my brother in for, a month, a year's food, a year's worth of food, water. Yeah, I'm gonna do that shit. Fuck that nigga. That's what they're literally gonna think. Verse 20. And he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall snatch on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall every man eat the flesh of his own arm. Right? So people are gonna be out here eating left and right. Right? Eating other people, but it's not gonna be enough. And it's going to get to the point that they're going to be eating their own selves. Just imagine how bugged out you have to be able to do that. Literally eat your own arm. And that's why it says in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Right? These people are not going to give a fuck about nothing. Right? To the point they're not even going to give a fuck about themselves. Right? Because if you had any logic, any sense, you know that eating yourself is counterintuitive. Right, you're going to eat a fucking piece of your leg, and guess what? It's going to get infected. Now you're dying faster. Right? Now your body's sending more nutrients, more energy to heal you. Okay? So you're going to feel more depleted. So it doesn't... any way you slice it and dice it, it's not a smart thing to do. Now I searched up on Google cannibalism, and this came up. Does cannibalism really have adverse side effects, or is that just something people say? Now, this reply right here says, in general, it's a bad idea to eat the same species simply based on a disease transmission perspective. I'm sure there are plenty of psychological issues involved as well. But a major concern in animal projection is transmissible spongiform encephalitis, TSE, or the more popular mad cow disease, prions. An infectious protein can basically turn a brain into Swiss cheese. These mutated proteins occur naturally, albeit rarely, but can infect another of the same and sometimes other species if they are eaten. So in the case of mad cow, the cows were being fed a protein mix that included brain and spinal cord tissue from other cattle. So essentially what it's saying is you got to watch out for the prions, right? Because it can infect you and literally turn your brain into Swiss cheese, right? Eat you from the inside out. And when you keep raining down, everybody's talking about the prions. That's what it really cooks you. So that's one of the reasons why cannibalism is bad. It's just insane. And I'll end it with this. Isaiah chapter 30. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin." Right, and that's going into aid the Israelites in these coming days, pretty much trying to make it out or trying to survive by their own understanding, by their own counsel. Okay? When at the end of the day, it's not going to help you. It says that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Right? Trusting in America. Egypt here is talking about America. It says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Okay, because nothing that this system, these elites, this government is going to offer you is going to be for your benefit. Right? Scriptures talk about how they speak with a forked tongue, deceptive. Okay, hey, trying to deceive you. They speak saying one thing, but at the end of the day, they're trying to say another thing. So that's the spirit, man. Cannabalism is coming back. Cannabalism is coming back. Hopefully this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Rakak and double honors to the other bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to you, like Shalom.